all those out there that believe in salvation somehow, because we're saved or we have salvation, we don't need Torah. Well, actually, he saved them first and then gave them Torah to do. Okay? Very important distinction. He first delivered them out of the bondage and then gave them the instructions they needed. So when people think, well, I don't need all that, I'm saved. Actually, you couldn't make use of it till you were saved, so to speak. It was of no use to you until that moment, because you had to be delivered out of a bunch of junk in order to make use of it. So when you're looking at your life and saying, am I ready for the return of the King? Well, this might be a good place to start. Start in Exodus 19, the big picture. Are you willing and focused on and actively trying to obey everything that comes out of his mouth? Now, more details are given in chapter 10 and verse 12 of Deuteronomy. It says, and now, Israel, what is Yahweh asking of you? But to fear him. Okay, I guess I can't really obey everything properly if I don't have the proper awe and reverence and fear of him. After all, the fear of Yahweh is the beginning of wisdom, beginning of knowledge, and the beginning of understanding, which, as a human being, we desire greatly with anything that we endeavor to do, that we understand it, that we know everything we need to know about it, and that we can handle it with some wisdom. Nothing we do, as far as I know, okay? I'm not high enough in anything to know. As far as I know, nothing we do has any effect on him whatsoever. You do something good, doesn't affect him. You do something bad, doesn't affect him. You're not going to hurt him. You're not going to fix any. He's perfect and doesn't need anything from you. Everything he's given is for you. Now, it's still all about him because it's what he wants, but it's to benefit you. If you keep Shabbat, it benefits you. It doesn't benefit him. When you eat right, when you treat each other right, when you love your neighbor as yourself, when you love him the way he teaches, these things all benefit us, not him. And until you realize his instructions are all for your benefit, to bless you, you may not be doing them all correctly or with the right approach. Well, I only get 2 weeks vacation. Well, good, and that worked. We got unleavened breads a week and Sukkot a week. Perfect. Couldn't work out any better. Oh, but then I don't get to do anything for myself. Those are for yourself. Doesn't benefit him. Those feasts are for you. Look, you need to go and do some deep prayer and get a major adjustment if you have anything that you desire to do and be at a place you'd rather be than at a feast. Okay? Something is not right vertically yet. Well, I don't always like all those people. It has nothing to do with all that. It has to do with being where he has instructed you to be. How good would you be at guarding something that you don't care that much about? Okay? How good would you be at guarding the things that are most valuable to you? Doesn't that make sense? Right? That you would guard things that you value the most, you would put the most effort to guard. So when you slip on some of these Torah commands, it's because you're not guarding them, and you're not guarding them because you don't value them enough. They're not precious to you. This is why David HaMelech, King David, says these words like, it's more precious than gold, the word, the Torah, the commands, more valuable than gold, sweeter than honey. See, he valued it on the highest levels. The king, when he comes, the world will not be fixed instantaneously. There's going to be patience needed. The world isn't just going to all of a sudden go, oh, and just bow down and do everything right. We have verses that tell us that it will not happen like that, right? See, there's a journey from today, which is the Feast of Trumpets. It's actually a memorial to remind you of the voice thundering like a shofar at Sinai, which is where we covenanted, because it's Zikron Teruah, which is the memorial of that blast. The blast it's referring back to is not the Big Bang, okay? It's the blast when he covenanted and he spoke, so it has to do with his voice. Yes, he is coming, and there is a process that we should be preparing for, and if we want to be in that first resurrection, we should be preparing for it before he gets here. All right? Because I think he will expect you already to have love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, trustworthiness, gentleness, and self-control before he gets here. You're thinking, oh my gosh, I struggle with all those things. Well, get to work. Turn off Facebook and social media and all the other things that are wasting your time and get to work. I don't know what to do. Well, whatever you're struggling with, become an expert in your challenge. I've taught you this before. And then study whatever you can find on how to fix the problem. You need to be able to say to the king, I have esteemed you on the earth, and I have done and accomplished the work you gave me to do. And some of you, I know you get frustrated with this. Some of you feel like you're not doing enough. I want to do the work of Elohim. 99.99999 to infinity, whatever percent of that is right here, inside. Oh, I want to do the work. I want to go out there and I want to do this and do that and do this. That's all outside of you. You know what work he gave you to do? Right here. And if you do that, the outside stuff will come naturally. So we should have that relationship to realize that everything, because people always want to just focus on Messiah. The Christianity is like, it's all about Jesus, right? That's what Christianity would say. Okay, but we have to understand that everything that Messiah has is because he got it from the Father. So the Father and Son are completely in one accord. I'm going to read that in some of these verses where he literally says that's his point. And so you can't go through the Father in the Old Testament said this, but the Son in the New Testament did that. No. They are always completely on the same page, 100%. Yeshua says, I only do what he says. I only speak what he tells me to speak. Complete harmony, oneness, echad. Okay, not just one like as we're one, because we're one, so they're one. No, exactly the way they are one. So what way are they one? Is anything on Yeshua's terms? No, it's all on the Father's terms. They are one because Yeshua completely, without reservation, submitted himself into that relationship. With full trust, with full awe and reverence, with full love. So he's expecting that we would be one in the same exact way as he and the Father. And yet, all of you out there are still, for the most part, struggling with how do you submit on that level? How do you trust on that level? Because we're not him yet.